We just try and be nice people, do the right thing, and treat people like you want to be treated.
Yeah.
It's very simple, right? Create a culture and an atmosphere that you want to come to work. Not everyone's going to get up every day and say, yes.
Yeah.
It's not what we do. It's not life. But if you keep it somewhat enjoyable, it's still a job. You gotta earn a paycheck. But let's make the most out of what we got.
Welcome back, it's Joshua Klein, and today I get the privilege and honor to be with Ms. Susan and Rakesh, aka the Rocket. Just learned a whole good story before we went on. So welcome, thank y'all so much for being here. Appreciate it. And if you can, we all tell the people at home a little bit about yourself. So who you are, what you do, and
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for having us. First of all, I'm Rakesh, and this is my wife Susan Jasanis. Born and raised in Aiken. Both my parents were actually born in East Africa, and then moved to England. And my brother was born in Manchester. Okay. And then we're looking for the American dream. My dad was looking for a business in the States. My uncle was willing to support him in that. He tried a few different places before. Deals didn't work out, so they moved to Aiken in '79. Okay. And began what we call the American dream. We started with a little mom and pop hotel. And I was then born in '81 here in Aiken. And then we've gradually grown. We've built 9 hotels in Aiken, South Carolina. Wow. Sold them off. And we currently have the Hilton Garden Inn, the Hampton Inn, and the Town Place Suites Marriott in Aiken.
Love it.
So. Yeah, that's kind of where we started.
And now we're jumping to other things, but we'll kind of tease out a little bit. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. So here's a question: is the move for your parents had to be huge, and Absolutely. A huge opportunity to chase the American dream. Now we're here today. You're successful at hitting that dream across all lines of business. Is the American dream dead for your kids going forward?
Absolutely not.
Love it.
It's I don't know, obviously it all works out, but I don't know where I'd be if they didn't move to Aiken.
Yeah.
The community's been so good to us, so welcoming. My parents, spoke decent English, but not great English moving here. Didn't know the town, basically started fresh and were welcomed, and developed relationships that are still there today. And I think they felt that this was a great place to raise their children. Yeah. And we've had a great childhood, and I really wanted to raise my children in this same community. So I think it's all come full circle. But this community, this town has been really good to my family.
I love it.
And there's a reason I'm still here.
Yeah. I always tell people, Aiken's one of those towns, you come to it, you don't know what you really to expect, but you get involved, get to know the people, and the people here are so enriching of life and vibrance. They want the best for everybody overall. Like, it's a great community to live, work, play, the whole 9 yards.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more.
We were just talking a little bit before we got started about the real tennis. So this is something so enriching that we're bringing people across the world, and it's only how many courts? 12?
12 currently active in the U.S.
Yeah, and we have one right here at home. So
absolutely.
It's great. So let's talk about, let's just jump into the new adventure, because it's always exciting to do something new. Y'all have been masters of the hotel hospitality industry for years. Tell us about the newest adventure for y'all as a family. It's huge.
Sure. We've been in the hospitality industry for many years in town, and a gentleman came to me and asked, "Hey, Rocket, I'd love for you to be a part of my restaurant." And literally, if I say 1,000 people would ask me to join the restaurant industry, I would have said no. But this was the one gentleman that came to me that I could not say no to.
Love it.
And he said, "I'd love you to be a part of the Whitney in downtown Aiken." And so I called my wife right away. I said, "You won't believe this." She thought I was a little crazy at first too, but I said, "I think it's another opportunity."
Yeah.
And only because it was this person, I immediately said, "You did say yes, right?"
Yes,
That's
that
awesome.
is exactly what she said. She said, you did say yes. So here we are. So it closed. We shut it down in July 1st, basically. And with the thoughts of revamping. It's a great spot, great location. It's a little tight. So we are currently doing some renovations. Trying to open up a courtyard in the back that's not been utilized. But it's right in the heart of downtown Aiken on Lawrence Street. So we are, this has been a learning curve for me. The restaurant industry is a whole new ballgame. So
What's it like? I mean, y'all family has mastered the hotel industry completely.
right.
You get a new opportunity come to you, a new chance to show off your skills, the whole 9 yards. What's it been like learning something kind of new in some ways? We have some experience in the restaurant.
Right. And so I just kind of treat it like, what are my strengths? And it's people.
Yep.
I love people, right? I love meeting people, and that's why I think, the hotel industry was just a perfect spot for me. I meet new people every day from different cities, from different countries, all over. So when my partner came to me, he said, I don't care if you don't know anything about the restaurant, but you know people.
Yeah.
You know this town, and I think we can be successful.
Yeah.
So I think that's just vital in this town, this community, having great relationships with all diverse people in this town. There's so many different people, and there's so many different things that bring people to Aiken. And I think when he kind of put it to me that way, I said, we'll figure out how to serve food as long as we can have great customer service and pretty darn good food. People will come.
Yeah.
So
With all the contacts that, like you said, being in Aiken, being involved, and so all the things that he's involved in, all of the different things that we're a part of, and the people that we know, and just being so willing to accept help. And I mean, we've had so many friends come alongside and say, "Oh, well, do you know this person? Do you know that person?" We've had somebody from another restaurant in Aiken who has been crucial in leading us along, in the right path. And, it's been great. And I think just knowing that we don't know it all, continually just being open to knowing that, it's not going to be perfect and we don't know everything, and being willing to ask for help and try many things.
That's just like being a parent, right? I mean, you don't know what you don't know.
Right. But if we were in a big city, it would be terrible. I mean, it's just so great being here, and the support that we have. People, I see a lot of things on social media about, oh my goodness, they're closed. When are they reopening? And we haven't really wanted to get on there and start, having those conversations out on the World Wide Web. But people are so supportive when they do find out, or if we're down there working in the restaurant and doing something and they stop in, pop their head in, hey, what's going on? And, people are just excited. So yeah, it's not anything negative at all so far.
I think we've had a lot of positive feedback so far from the community.
People really want, Aiken is growing so much. I mean, I hope that sometimes, I was gone for about 10 years, not too far, just in the Augusta area, but coming back, I thought, oh my goodness, it's so much more busy over here, the traffic. But you still have that small town feel, and I don't think that that's going away anytime soon. Yeah. But with having more people, I mean, we need more restaurants. We need more, especially downtown. Downtown is thriving. I had a business downtown, almost 15 years ago. And at that time, it wasn't what it is now. And most of us that were in this one particular area, we all failed. And now it's just so great and exciting. And I'm excited to have another opportunity to be a part of downtown, because I loved it when I still lived in Augusta, but I had my place there. And I was so sad when I had to leave and go back, I just missed being here. I love Aiken. I'm so glad to be back here. And it's just fun that we're getting to do this. So.
And we interviewed Andrew Duran a couple months ago, and he said, if you take care of Aiken, Aiken's going to take care of you. He heard that from Buzz Rich. So that saying has to stay true to so many conversations to entrepreneurs around our town. It's like, just take care of Aiken. Aiken's going to take care of you. That's great. So the fun question. So I know you're talking about the courtyard. So if you've been in the Whitney before, they had the taco spot before that. We love the tacos. My wife,
Yes.
we crushed it. We loved
Great
it.
spot.
So what's going to be a little bit different about the new inside of this?
We're just looking for a new vibe. You know, I think just a fun, cool atmosphere. That's it's just lively.
Love it.
You know,
It's beautiful on the inside. We love the inside, but just a few minor things to change the feel a little bit. Some seating changes, and maybe we've got a cool idea for an area between the front and the back that you know, when you are a small space, you have to utilize your bar area for dinner service, and so to sort of give a different oh gosh, what am I trying to say? Give more another space for people to kind of hang out. So we're making changes to our kitchen and rebuilding and reworking that so that we have other places in the restaurant that people kind of can hang out and more if people just want to pop in and have a drink. You know, I think that sometimes you don't want to necessarily just sit at the bar or sit down and have a meal. You just want to pop in somewhere and hang out for a few minutes, or even stop by and have a drink before dinner or whatever. We want to incorporate that and have that available to people, and also the courtyard. Just that's going to be so fun, and it will open up. There's already an opening in the back to the back alley, so people can kind of casually come in and out that way.
I'd love to see that back alley become thriving as the main
100%.
alley. I think there's just a lot of potential there.
And there's definitely opportunity. I mean, they're getting the murals done right now. They got the lights above.
Right.
And it's going in that direction. So
Yes.
that's awesome that you're taking the front side of Lawrence and bringing it to the back as well.
Yes.
And we want, you know, we're looking for, you know, farm to table, you know, we
Fresh,
are,
local, as
yeah,
much
I mean,
local
the
as we
quality
can
of
use.
food, you know, we want the best quality when we want a fine dining experience, but we also want people to feel like, you know, they don't have to come in and be completely dressed up. And so, you know, we want the vibe to be comfortable, you know.
Not going to be a stuffy atmosphere.
we
You
want-
gotta-
we
you gotta
want-
be open.
yeah, we want
I
a
want
nice
people to talk.
place.
I don't want, you know, I know what people want.
The quiet
Yeah.
ambiance.
quiet
yeah.
ambiance.
Nice, fun
But
atmosphere,
at the same
but,
time, you gotta,
but people
you know,
to feel
you gotta have fun.
comfortable.
That's great. And I think, honestly, if you look at the restaurants in Aiken, everybody has their own unique feel and vibe, which is great. And we need every atmosphere there. But just adding to the energy of downtown and the growth
Yes.
of downtown is going to be so great for us.
Absolutely.
I love it. Is there a signature drink yet? Or
No.
No?
I haven't. I'm going to need someone to handle that. No, we haven't fully found our chef and bartender. We're not there yet.
And that's something that we've had a lot of questions. What we know the quality, we know what you know, where we want the food to come from. You know, that's definitely important to us. But I think that once you find those people, that's who you're going to have to look to. That's not what we do. You know, we don't know anything about that. We have ideas, you know, of things. We travel a lot. We've eaten at a lot of great places, a lot of bad places.
Yeah.
So we have ideas, but ultimately, we want those people to help us in those decisions and kind of, you know, leave that, let them
I'll let the
have
experts
freedom
handle
to.
it. I'm gonna have my touch on it, but you know, there's people that's way smarter than me that don't know what to do
If you
there.
need any tasters for the auditional chefs, I'm here to
Absolutely.
taste. So one of the biggest questions that we get asked a lot is how we're balancing life and business and keeping the spark going between y'all as well. So how are y'all doing that between balancing everything you have going on with y'all two?
Well, as he mentioned, he is involved in the court tennis stuff, and I've started playing as well, which is fun. And I think a lot of our special time together is honestly when we travel for him to play, and sometimes I get to play as well. Yeah. And I was thinking about it lately. We don't get as many date nights. We have a couple of things planned because being in the restaurant business, we want to go. We're exploring now, and we want to kind of get out there a little more because we haven't been able to do that for the last couple of years. So just making time, making sure that is a priority. But I would say these little trips, we're going on one in a few weeks. That's sort of our time to like just relax, spend a lot of time talking and getting on the same page about, our future plans and just having a quick lunch date. I feel like we've had a lot of.
We do that a lot.
We do that a lot. That's a good thing because that's really the only hour that we get to talk, especially now with the restaurant and me being more involved now than ever before. With the hotel. I have my career. He does that, but there were things along the way over, the last 5 to 7 years that when we were building a hotel in Columbia, he would come to me and say, because I'm in an art background, so he would say, "What do you think about this mural in the new hotel?" Or "What do you think about this interior design decision?" or whatever. So it's been little things leading up, but now more than ever, I think. It's almost like being a mom with what role I'm taking on in the restaurant. I'm kind of the one that's like gonna make sure everything's right, everything looks okay, this is cleaned, even decisions about, we were in there last week and I said, I really think these floors need to be redone. Well, what do you mean they need to be redone? I said, I think
we have total opposite views that actually bring it all together.
Yeah.
Which is great. I'm, the sports guy. She's the artsy interior designer person. It's where two opposites come together.
And he's the people person. He's really good. That's his job. He's a numbers guy, a business guy, and I'm sort of the one that comes in and notices the details.
Yes, I would agree.
But that's just being, I guess being a wife and a mom, it's just a natural thing anyway.
But I think that's what bonds us too. It's like she sees things I will never see, and vice versa. It just kind of creates.
You're on one team. It's truly one team coming together and making it even better, which is super strong.
Let's hopefully the children get a blend of it. They don't need all me and all her. They need a blend.
It's not super easy. There are really, really tough days. There are things that we definitely don't see eye to eye on, or we call each other out on, or whatever. But I think it's just being able to do it, say it, shake it off.
Yeah, you got to fall to get back up, right?
And move on. So
you can tell the respect level. Y'all two as like a couple, but as professionals too, is just tremendous. Just sitting here talking to you, I was just sitting here thinking, so Bethany and I we try our best to every year go out a planning session together for the end of the year to get planned the next year. It sounds like y'all kind of do the same thing because you have to be proactive on planning your schedule. What's your goals with the kids, with the family, ourselves? Because if we're just working just to work to make money, to take care of the kids, well, the kids are eventually going to leave.
Yeah.
And then in 20 years, where we're going to sit now, we're going to see each other and look at each other and say, well, who are you, right? And that's not
No, I
real.
agree. That's
and
good.
finding something we enjoy to do together. And fortunately for me, I fell in love with the sport that he plays, and so even if I'm not playing, I just love to be there and be his cheerleader.
For that.
And he needs a cheerleader, so.
Every guy wants to hear I'm good.
Who doesn't, right? You always need to look in the corner and have somebody there. So she's been tremendous, supporting me in all my endeavors. Because I still love to compete. That's a big part of my life. That's why I love to coach. I love to watch my kids compete, and it's just competition is a big part of my life. And I think that changes a person. You got to compete to understand winning and losing in life, because you're going to get both.
So let's talk about this. So biggest opportunity for any entrepreneur family was to lose during the beginning of COVID when it all happened. So how did you look down that day, early that March, when everything kind of shut down? How was that like for y'all?
It was.
It takes leadership.
It was bad. It was so unknown. We didn't know what was going on.
And I couldn't work either. I'm in the service industry. I mean, the state said you cannot work. You cannot touch anyone.
There was no precedent for what we were going through. But gradually, as I saw, it went from 90 rooms booked to 10 rooms to one. I had
Right,
one
overnight.
guest one time in the house. I said, "You got the whole hotel for yourself." And he was in there for a few weeks. He had to do some emergency work. But there were many weeks with 0 guests
Wow.
in our hotel. It was so eerie. I didn't have a staff. Everyone was, we had to. There was no need for anyone.
Yeah.
So it was a rough time, and that lasted about a year. I think, were fortunate being in Aiken compared to some of the bigger cities,
Yeah.
which had more severe lockdowns. And
We
whatnot.
have all the horse events, the athletic, the soccer, the baseball,
Weddings.
weddings. So
and
we were
just-
really lucky with that being in Aiken.
Yeah.
We were
And
fortunate.
a big part of our business is SRS, and there was obviously a lot of unknown out there, but I was very fortunate to have a team that stayed with me
Yeah.
through it all. I've had some very loyal team members, and they've been with me for a very long time. And to sustain success in any business, you've got to have loyalty.
Yeah.
And we've been very fortunate to have that in our business, in my hotels here. And I don't know if it's me or the team or what, but we are very lucky to
Yeah.
have the people that stuck through it with us and are still with us. And what makes our places great, they make me look great.
So let me ask you this question. So y'all are, you got to have great leadership to be where you are, be successful. What's the biggest advice y'all can give to each other, to anybody else trying to get to be an entrepreneur as a family? What would be the biggest piece of advice y'all give?
You got to stay humble. I'm in these hotels every day, and I treat everyone like we're close. I don't ever act like I'm above anyone. That's to build a good culture, you've got to have a team-friendly and family atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's really like my family at home is my family at work. We talk about anything and everything, and they know they can come to anyone about anything. It's for the most, and don't get me wrong, staffing has been the challenge.
Oh, 100%. Across the board.
It's just, we're in what they like to call the new normal, and we're still getting adjusted. So by no means are we just rolling smoothly. It is. We've got a lot of challenges with staffing still, but from my leadership standpoint, they've stuck with me, and I'm so proud because people they want to work for them, and hopefully me as well. But we just try and be nice people, do the right thing, and treat people like you want to be treated.
Yeah.
It's very simple, right? Create a culture and an atmosphere that you want to come to work. Not everyone's going to get up every day and say, yes.
Yeah.
It's not what we do. It's not life. But if you keep it somewhat enjoyable, it's still a job. You still you gotta earn a paycheck, but let's make the most out of what we got.
And we know like I said, this is going to be so hard, this next thing, but it's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be really rewarding, but a lot of hard work.
I'll tell you, the biggest thing I see, and Bethany and I talk about all the time, even if things go to the south and doesn't go good like we think it's going to go, we're going to be in it together. And that's really the cool part about doing life together. So a lot of time people say what do you do with kids in Aiken? So y'all clearly have done a great job, having the kids do a lot of different things. So how is it raising a bigger family here in Aiken? So talk about that.
Okay, well, I guess I'll talk about that. Well, first of all, it's crazy. We have 5 kids, 16, 14 and a half, one that turns 9 in a few days, 4 and a half, and 3. So we have every stage of life, and it is totally nuts. At least this year, we are finally down to 2 schools. We had 4 car lines last year. That was a little tough. And our kids are in school here in Aiken County.
The older ones are driving, which
Yes, the older ones are driving, oldest one is driving. Yeah, so it's fantastic. He plays football for South Aiken, and that's been really fun for us because we get to go back to our old stomping grounds, and and then the 14-year-old he plays golf, and the middle one has dance and tennis, and that's really convenient because tennis is right here in our neighborhood. So that's helpful. And then when the one is golfing, we sort of have to, coordinate. But And the younger two haven't quite found their place.
They'll have a
Camille
racket in
takes
their
dance,
hand
but
to start.
yeah. So we have all these activities,
Whether that happens.
and he's coaching. That's so our days are crazy, but they have to be really planned out, and we also have to have help. My sister's back here. She's a huge help. We piggyback off of each other with activities. His parents live in our neighborhood. My parents are close by. So again, it takes a village. It's all about being willing to ask for help, and even sometimes when you don't want to. But yeah, we've had to work really hard. I do have. I'm a hairstylist, so I work, but I've had to change my schedule over the last couple of years to part-time, and now just really during the day, and now with this, we've already kind of discussed what our schedule will be like when we open the restaurant, because we'll have to, it's important for one of us to be at home with kids during that dinner time and bath time, and so we may have to trade off, and
the communication
we'll figure out. We'll juggle that a little bit, but we'll figure it out. But I do think it's very involved for the kids to be a part of something as well.
Yeah.
Whether it's sports or dance or music, whatever it is, you got to get involved.
And we
in
have
something.
top of the line.
Kids need activities, because it was a big part of my life. Tennis, I think, maybe love this town even more. But it creates. It teaches you a lot about life too, right? And challenges and overcoming, losing and how to handle winning. And one of the best things I do is she knows I love to coach. I've been coaching for 16 years. But kids need activities. So whatever it takes, whether we've got to, I've got to sit through a dance practice or, whatever it takes, we got to make it.
He's got to leave here, in an hour to go drive to Augusta for a match, and I've got to handle this afternoon's activities, which is fine. But
we'll call each other about 11 each morning, because we don't even have time to discuss it before school. So like, what do you got? What do you got? And we make it happen, right? It's hard.
Oh, I love it. Bethany and I are the same as that way. If she was sitting right next to me, it's the same exact scenario with our three, and we're getting more now into like the soccer and the different sports and the dance and stuff like that. But it's just communication. But the beautiful thing about Aiken, there's so many families all wanting the best for their kids.
Yes.
And I see it more here because I'm here, but any other conversation I have with my friends outside is like, hey, these people really want the best for their family. They want the best for their community. So talking about community, I know you mentioned about coaching and giving back that way. What else is big to y'all in the community atmosphere of giving back or just getting involved into the community? What are y'all doing there?
For many years there, I was involved in the chamber and different, charitable, just anything I could get involved in, I did. Time has become, less with our big family now, but I still am very involved in this community in whatever way I can give back, whether it's time, coaching, in any aspect. I try and do it. And we're involved in still a lot with the schools and and different organizations. My partner,
my organizations like you're a part of as kids.
My partner in the restaurant is a big philanthropist.
Love it.
And has given back a ton to this town because he believes in it. He grew up here. He wants to see it just thrive, and he believes in kids, and he thinks obviously that they're the future, and we can only sustain a great place to live if our future can keep it going. So he's a role model for me. He's given so much to this community, and I just hope we can continue to to live by that motto.
And that's why we wanted to take this on. It is going to be really tough. I mean, of course, our family looked at us like, oh my gosh, y'all have so much going on. How are you going to do this? But I think in order to, grow, get to the next level, we are flexible with our careers, which is great, and we wouldn't survive if not. But if we ever want to be able to get to that next level and be able to do more, you kind of have to just jump into it and do the work, and it's going to be hard work. We're not even in it yet. We were speaking with you earlier. We were hoping to open in December, but we'll see. So really, we're not going to be really in this new venture until the first of the year, and I'm sure it's going to be tough. Yeah. And it's not all rainbows and sunshine. all the time. It's tough.
I can remember, my mom grew up in the restaurant business. My mom did. So, I was working when I was 12 years old. I was back there washing dishes. So it's just part of the life of entrepreneur family and people that want to get involved, get your hands dirty, but you're teaching so many valuable lessons from the very beginning. Like, I'm sure you were working in the hotels, like,
Absolutely.
God,
Talking tubs when I was 9.
I was going to say, you probably were sleeping under the desk at some nights because you had to get things done.
We used to live, we lived in the hotel for 24/7. Mom and Dad ran 24-hour shifts, But you learn the values of hard work and where it gets you,
100%.
They've lived a successful life from there.
There's nobody can stop you in this world but you.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I know. I think our oldest thought he was just going to get a job, and of course the younger ones already said, "Can I wait tables? Can I do this?" And we'll think about it. We'll see what happens. But we finally told the oldest, "No, you have to go get a job." Well, he went and got a job at Publix, so he works at Publix. When he's not playing football or whatever else, he's bagging groceries. And so we'll see. That we might hire them. We don't know, but
We got proof to
yeah. Sometimes it's not always best if you just let the kids come in on the family business.
So we talked about the past, getting the American Dream started. You are in the American Dream. You are thriving in the American Dream. We talk about what we're doing here in the next couple days. But what's the future look like for y'all?
We've been here. I've been here now. We've both been here right over 40 years, and it's been a heck of a run.
Yeah.
But I can tell you right now, we're not stopping.
Let's go.
We're going to keep going. We're going to grow this. We're going to keep growing our businesses and make this just a staple in town that are for years to come. That I hope my kids are running one day and they keep going. But we've got some great future plans that I think this whole town will be excited about.
I know with y'all leadership and everything y'all are doing in this town, people y'all are, it's going to be great. Everything y'all touch turns to gold. So congratulations on that. Thank you for being here. We definitely appreciate it. And y'all stay tuned for our next show.
Thank you.